Right, so by popular demand and, I guess based on all the questions I've been getting on Twitch lately, a lot of you guys are probably new to the game, or you're probably just starting off, or you're probably looking at the game considering playing. And I feel like the tutorial isn't really giving you all that in-depth knowledge or information you should need as a new player into the game. So I decided to make this video. I guess you can call it a tutorial or a guide or an in-depth beginner guide. It's however you guys want to put it. And for anybody new just tuning into the channel, Eternal Return is your MOBA like anime battle royale, and let's just hop right into it. Off rap, I'm gonna just quickly get right into recommended characters, and it's not gonna be any different from what everybody else would tell you. Jackie, one of the most best beginner friendly, easy to play, easy kills, overpowered character you could probably ever picked in any game. Her kit is just amazing, especially if you're going dual swords and looking at all of her skills. Her W and Qs, her W being her bleed, it applies bleed to your enemy while giving you health regeneration and boosting your movement speed. Also the Q adding on with that, and then if you just want to put the icing on the cake, just hit her ultimate or R while they're half HP, and that's it, they're done. And if you just want to make it even worse, you could also use her weapon skill, and that just ends them. Jackie's the best. I'm gonna sit again. Jackie. Outside of Jackie, there's only one other character I'd say, and she's second to none. That would be Aya. I can't really give you guys any real recommendation on her or whatever like that, because I suck at, well, shooting and aiming. I really do. But I've played her, and she scored me my first actual 12 matches, straight wins, solos. She's really good. Honestly, she's not hard to play, and a lot of people recommend going pistol with her. Another thing we want to touch base on would be, I guess, what you guys would consider builds or meta builds, recommended builds, whatever it is, that will be considered save plans. And just to give you a quick briefing into that, based on whatever weapon you have, whether you're using Jackie, it's a hatchet, it's a sword, or a dagger, the game also gives you recommended builds for each one of those weapons. But at the same time, you could also select one, whichever one you plan on playing. And if you want to see what players are doing, or if you want to see what's meta right now, you can always hit import save plan for that dagger. It'll bring it up, and then you can filter it. Like I said, if you want to see what top people are playing or what like everybody's using, which obviously would make it a meta, you hit uses, and that would filter it out. So the one with the most uses would be considered meta. Now, what changes is would be like based on the patch notes, the versions, latest version. If you look at this right here, this was used November 28th. So, but it was really good. But since as of December 9th, which is the latest patch, this one's already at 1,000, uses. So, I mean, it's however you want to look at it or whatever you want to choose. You can always play around with them. I'll go more in depth with this later on, depending on kind of requests I get. But this would be if you're trying to get like builds for your character. Another thing I'm usually always asked when, streaming would be, how do you know what items do you need for your build? So right now I'm building into my weapon, and if you look right under it, this would show the materials required to build that set weapon. So I need these 4 materials to build into all of this to finally get this weapon. But if you notice, the stuff with the yellow triangle, these are the stuff that are needed for your build. And in order for me to get these, I need to search inside of these crates or kill animals and stuff for that. And once you get those, then you can start working towards your build. But these only would show you what's in that area. So once it has a check mark on it, you've already gotten that item, and you can just leave the area. Now, what you do want to look out for when normally you're like picking up items, you always want to get stuff that indicate it can build into something. So normally I'd say grab stuff that'll be food, and most cases people would tell you get, like, for example, we got this ice here, you grab that ice and that turns into something. Crafting items gives you experience and levels you up. The more you craft, the more experience you get. Killing mobs gives you experience and it levels you up. And you can also press V, and that'll bring up your master crafting, moving, searching, hunting. All of that complements into you getting experience to level up. The more weapon master you have, the more damage you do to people. And if you highlight it, it'll tell you if you killed someone, you get 200 experience. Craft the weapon, you can get anywhere between 100 to 1,000. You deal damage to a wild animal, not killing it, you already get 5 experience. You deal 100 damage to a player, you get 63 experience. Like I said, all of that goes into there, because by the time you hit level 6, 7, you need to already have your weapon mastery skill. Very essential to have that. I mean, some people can do without. I don't recommend recommend going that far without it. Another thing we all want to talk about would be, and this is a very common question I get a lot, where do I find the right items I need? If it's not in the area you came in, because like I said, once you're done finding what you need, especially the ones that have the yellow item on it, it'll display a check mark. And to build that particular item, because you can click on each one of these individually in your in your build, and you just need all of these right here to build this particular weapon, this item. But if you don't have all of that right now and you need to find a piece, for example a turtle shell, you can always just click on it and it'll indicate where it is on the map. So outside of where you are right now, it's also on the beach, it's also on the dock, it's also in pond, and if it's not in any of those areas, you can always kill bats and there's an RNG chance of getting it. So outside of that, the only other thing you'd have a problem looking for, which I don't foresee it, and I always recommend getting these afterwards, at the very bottom here it'll tell you collecting/hunt. That means that these items cannot be obtained out of any boxes, but you'd have to kill monsters for these or pick it up in certain areas. So clicking on the rocks, you can see the rocks are all over the map. You just gotta find them and pick them up. Same thing with the leather. You can kill wolves, you can kill bats, you can kill bears, you can kill chickens, you can kill hounds, you can also kill boars, I believe. Yeah, those are boars, my bad. But you can, I don't think you can get it from bears, so y'all scratch that. I just messed the whole thing up. Outside of that, that would be the only thing you guys need to really stress when it comes to saying, you know, getting your items efficiently and easily. So another thing I do want to recommend to most of you, a lot of you guys also ask me, how do I craft items without clicking on them? Like so, just crafted that, didn't have to click or anything like that. What I want you guys to do is hit the cog to the top right or escape and just go to your settings, hit input and scroll right down here. This literally gives you all the shortcuts, short keys, action keys, whatever it is you need that'll make your life a lot easier at playing this game. I notice a lot of people never really look at it, but this is one of the first things I looked at, especially when it came to like trying to craft. I saw like the Koreans and stuff doing it and I couldn't figure out what it was, and I didn't know how to ask them the right way, so I ended up just kept messing with everything, and well, here I am now. So like I said, you know, you got for learning your skills, you know, control Q all the way down to D, and those are all your skill letters. So control plus the letter and you learn the skill. Interface, you know, Y changes your camera mode. When it says that, you know, this is how it is right now. When you press Y, it goes full mobile, you know, full mobile, and you just press Y to resets that. Crafting menu is B, and like let's say you want to look for a different item and you want to craft it. Like right now, Yuki can go dual swords. So if I want to go dual swords, the only way I can do it, because I can't put it in the build, the only way I can do it is click on this right here, and then, you know, now I know exactly what I gotta look for the craft, you know, his sword and all that. So going back to it, interface, you know, map would be M. Recenter your camera on just your character, you can press space. That's like if you're clicking somewhere in the map or you're moving with your mouse while you have Y enabled, you press space and it comes back on top of you. Character stats, which is the mastery, you press V. Most of this you guys can just go through it and it'll pretty much give you a understanding and gist of all of it, and you'll be good to go. If you're trying to learn how to reload your gun when you're shooting, you press F. It has it there. Resting, and this is very vital when it comes to resting, and you know, you're in a tight fight and you just want to hide from somebody. You can, you know, in simulation postings and I got away from someone, I just run over into the bushes, I hit X, and that recovers my SP, my HP and everything. And you know, you can also pop your potions at the same time, and that'll help it just go up faster while you're going. Outside of that, I don't, like I said, everything else is here. If you're with a team member and you find yourself crawling on the floor and you want to stop, you can always press S and that stops all movement. Pressing S stops all movement. A really important thing I want to tell you guys, and that's using, well, how to traverse the map a lot faster instead of just walking around clicking. You can always go to a Hyperloop, which is the phone booth. If you click on that, that helps you teleport to any one of these locations on the map. It doesn't matter where it is. Once you go to the telephone booth, looks like this on the mini map, on the map, whatever it is, you click on that and that can help you teleport to anywhere on the map. Outside of that, another way to move around on the map, you can set a predestined point by just right clicking on the mini map where you want to go, as long as it's in range, and that'll set your character to walk to that area. And I guess that'll give you time to look at stuff and do other things. Another thing I want to touch base on, and you know, a lot of you guys might wonder why when you're watching players play, we don't attack anybody in the early level stages, and that's because it's so vital and crucial that you don't want to start engaging on someone early if you're not going to kill them quick. That being said, the time you take to try to run down and kill somebody that's level 1 with you will be wasted, because now you wasted about 40 seconds to a minute. You didn't kill them. There's other people that are now probably level 5 or 6. You're still level 1 and you're just going to be too far behind. So I don't recommend anybody getting into any fights unless you're level 5 and above. By 5, you should at least have your weapon. Another thing in terms of your weapon, I always recommend whatever plan you're using, make sure you're either building your weapon first or your boots. The reason why I'm saying weapon first is because, like I said, it takes a while to get all the other stuff. The least you want to do is be able to kill monsters or kill players if they engage in you while you're leveling up. The reason why I said boots is because you want to at least have that movement speed to get out of very, very crucial moments. So make sure if you're going for a plan, make sure it's something that gives you boots or at least your weapon first on your second pathing, or even your first pathing. Whichever one it is, go with it. Another thing I want to teach you guys, which I'm pretty sure not a lot of people know about, in game you can actually change your plan. Like right now you look at my build and you're probably like, doesn't look all that good. But the thing is, I build this like this because this is an aggressive build for me, and then I can always press P and then boom, I go for another build. Once I've already completed my other build, once this is all done and I got nothing else to build into, I have so much time remaining, I can press P and go for these greedy items, you know. So that's another thing I thought I could just teach you guys outside of, you know, what you're used to. And the very last thing I'll leave you guys with, when you're playing this game, food is very, very crucial. I cannot stress how much pressure this was on me and how bad I was at this game when finding food. It's your bread and butter in surviving fights. You want sustained survivability, get the food. Oil pretty much crafts anything that's high tier food wise, SP wise. You can always look for milk. Milk combines with anything, oil combines with anything, and wherever you see lighters, just always pick up the lighters. But food is very essential, so make sure you always get your food. You see like how this food item right here, there's an indication of a hammer and a wrench. That means that I can upgrade this into something else. So if you see stuff like this when you open boxes, you can always upgrade them and you get better food items, because right now this one's 200 and that by itself was 200, but I just upgraded it and it's now 400. So make sure you guys always get your food. Like, you really need your food. That helps so much in surviving fights. One more thing, guys, don't stay in the red zone if the timer goes down. If it goes down to 0, well, you know what happens. At the end of the day, I just want everybody to have fun with this game. I can't really give any pro advice or any good suggestions. Best I can do is help any and everyone out as much as I can. Like I said before earlier, this is my very first YouTube video on this channel, so I'd really like to know how this video did and if this is something I could continue doing. So I would really appreciate if you guys leave a comment. You know, you like the video, don't like the video, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe. I'll have all my social media attached the description, along with some links that will possibly help you guys out. Outside of that, you can always catch me on Twitch. I'm streaming every single day. You can always hit me up on Twitter, and my Discord's always going to be open. Appreciate you guys looking at the video. If you came this far, be nice, y'all. Take it easy, be breezy.